video is going to be talking about why I bought a dyno. So I had a few people that commented on my last video talking about should I have bought the dyno. Now, I was just curious what people would have to say, kind of idea on it. Obviously, I got some feedback, which I appreciate. And a reason that I bought a dyno. Now, I didn't just buy the dyno for the YouTube channel. So we can just take that off the plate. That is, I didn't buy it just for that. The reason I bought the dyno, I've wanted a dyno for a really long time. I've probably wanted a dyno for, I don't know, 15 years, maybe longer than that. Probably even longer than 15 years, quite a long time. So one reason that I wanted a dyno, and especially a hub dyno, and that was the reason I went with the hub dyno, was that for us to go to the drag strip, we are, I don't know how many miles it is, but it's like right from where I am to the track, doesn't matter which track I go to, they're basically the same distance. We're like 3 hours, 3.5 hours each way. So you're 6 to 7 hours drive time. And obviously the weather's good if you're going to the track, right? So if it's pouring rain or something like that, you're not usually going. But, well, sometimes it might be raining here and not there. But anyways, nonetheless. So having the hub dyno basically affords for me to be able to go to the track more often. Now, I know that kind of sounds maybe weird to say, but basically with the hub dyno and with the tests and all that type of stuff you can do and runs and all that stuff, basically I can fix anything that needs to be fixed before we go to the track. So if we have an oil leak, we have a coolant leak, I do have a little coolant leak I have to fix, and it's got some oil underneath it. That has nothing to do with the truck leaking. Now, it's because I was monkeying around. But you get to fix those type of things, because that's the thing. Like if I drive up there, let's say for test and tune, I'm taking half a day off of work, right? So or half a day off the shop. So I lose 4 hours of shop time, which it accounts to, probably. Depending on the day, but it can range considerably, right? At a minimum, $500. If you're, could sell an engine or two, could be $20,000. So you have to take that into consideration as far as that goes. So going to the track is a commitment for me to be able to do so. So having the hub dyno, when I can do all these runs, there is actually a 1/4 mile simulator for testing. I haven't really monkeyed with it yet, just because I want to learn. I want to learn it in increments so that I know that I got to figure it out. But that's a big one for me. Now, obviously, knowing horsepower and all that type of stuff does help. But knowing where your peak horsepower is, where your power actually comes on, like there's a bunch of stuff that you get to learn. With having a dyno. Dyno is not just for finding out the most amount of power you can make. It is a tool to be able to test certain scenarios. That is one nice thing about the hold function, or steady state function they call it, is if I want to see how much power, where I'm making power, or even in steps, I can actually do it in steps as well. But if I want to see, okay, how much power am I making at 3,000 horsepower, at 3,000 RPM, 3,500 RPM, like I can actually test it and see where I'm making power. So I like that. That is a nice. That's a very nice function. When I get to doing the actual 1/4 mile runs and stuff, I think that'll be pretty cool too. Be able to simulate how the truck is working and shifting and all that type of stuff. And then it also gives me some practice in the truck, actually shifting the truck and all that type of stuff. Now, I would really like to put a anteater in this truck, but I have to I have to build another transmission. I'll take the parts out of this transmission, put them in a different transmission, but it's just, I have to do another transmission. And I honestly, I was full intending on doing it, but we are now close to the end of January right now, 2024. And I would like to get Shay's truck, which you guys can't, well, I don't think you can see either of the trucks, but Shay's truck's on the hoist. We're doing a bunch of stuff with that, and I want to get his truck finished, get his truck on the dyno. I got a fleet of videos that I would like to do testing and showing you guys stuff and that type of stuff on the dyno. So now, that being said, that is another reason I did buy it, was to be able to show you guys what certain things do, how to be able to tune, because, you know, it's one of those things for me to be able to show you guys, you know, what a certain change does, especially nowadays. It's really hard to go out and, you know, rat bag around on the road. And it's hard to, especially 90% of the time I'm by myself. So it's pretty hard to film and rat bag. So that is another reason. And then also too, at a certain point, I will, you know, I'll be dynoing other people's vehicles and that type of stuff. It's just primarily I bought it, one, for me to use, and then be able to show you guys stuff on YouTube. Now, I can afford to pay for the dyno, and when it really comes down to it, the reason I can afford that is I'm the type of person that I would much rather buy a tool than something I don't need. You know, could I go out and buy a brand new Hellcat Challenger? Absolutely, I can afford to do that. But I would rather have a dyno myself, so I can dyno my trucks and do videos and that type of stuff, and be able to make money off of the dyno, than to go buy a brand new truck or buy you know, a Hellcat or buy, you know, something like that. I would much prefer to have the piece of equipment. That's the same idea as I'm buying some CNC, a CNC mill, a CNC lathe, so I can do a bunch of machining and stuff that I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm just now into the position to be able to make it work. So that is something else I'm going to be doing, as well as probably bringing a couple people on staff at a certain point. I'm not at that point yet, and I'll have to find the right people. That's going to be the hard part. So anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to quickly talk about it and let you guys know, you know, why I bought the dyno. Like I said, it wasn't just for the sake of being able to do YouTube videos. That was not the case. You know, there is going to be a lot of videos done with the hub dyno, and don't get me wrong, that was a tipping point for me, was to be able to do the videos and obviously be able to make a little bit of money out of ad revenue. And if you guys are so inclined, after February 1st, 2024, you will be able to go on the channel membership, and if you would like to see the exclusive content there, you will be able to do so. So anyways, if you liked the channel, hit subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and check out this next video.